Hi everybody, so we're back again, and this week we've been covering everything constipation. On Tuesday Tidbit, I shared a question that I received from one of my IG friends. The question was, what are my favorite foods to relieve constipation? And we answered that, so if you missed it, make sure you go to my last post and watch the video. But let's move on and continue with that same conversation, because if we're going to go ahead and begin detoxing, we've got to discuss two things: fasting, and we've got to discuss herbal blends, okay? Because let's face it, if you have stopped eliminating waste and toxins and chemicals and cellular debris and all of the stuff that does not belong in our body, your body has become a breeding ground for parasites and disease. So when it comes to fasting, you got to keep things in mind, because everyone is starting from their own place depending on what their current diet is, okay? So for me, I mostly eat raw and cooked foods, fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds. So that's my starting place. You've got some people that are starting from dairy, meats and sugar and processed foods, and it's absolutely off the chain. It's crazy. So because we have to go to a fasting place, fasting begins where you are, all right? And the goal is to get to an all raw food diet, okay? Fruits and vegetables, nuts, seeds, okay? Then the next level would be to get to a fruit diet, a mono fruit diet, where you're only eating one fruit, because the more you simplify what you take into your body, the easier it is to begin digesting. And then from a monofruit, you're going to go to a juice fast, and from juice fasting, you go to a water fast. Okay? Now, because it's different for everybody, and because there's specific guidance that's needed, you would just call me as your detoxification specialist, and we would have a consultation, and I would walk you through the entire process so that you wouldn't be in it alone. Okay? So fasting. That fasting is a big part of detoxification. So let's talk about herbs, because that's really important, and not all herbs are created equal. The reason why I like the herbal blends that I use is because they're not addictive, they're gentle, they pull, they move your bowels, they move you energetically, okay? And when I choose the herbs that are specific for the GI tract, I integrate the systems that have been affected, okay? So I'm going to use an herbal blend that has to do with kidney and bladder. I'm going to use an herbal blend that has to do with the lymphatic system. I'm going to use the herbal blend that has to do with adrenals, the nervous system, okay? I'm going to use a herbal blend that has to do with stomach and bowels. And each one of these herbal blends has levels to them, and you go up the ladder to increase the level of detoxification as you move through your particular protocol. So since we're talking about constipation, I would say that if you are not moving your bowels, then we're definitely going to start with a stomach and bowel 3 and go to level 5. So stomach and bowel 3 means you're moving your bowels every now and then. And to me, that still means you're constipated. If you're not moving like 2 to 3 times a day, or 30 minutes after you eat, then you've got some work to do. So stomach bowel number 4 is like if you're moving your bowels 1 to 2 days, like every 1 to 2 days. And then stomach and bowel 5 is if you're not moving your bowels except for like every 2 to 3 days, okay? So the cool thing is when we design a protocol, depending on where you're at with moving your bowels, we're going to go in between different herbal blends as you start to clean out your body to support the process. We wouldn't want to keep you on a really intense stomach and bowel number 5 if you're starting to move your bowels every 1 to 2 days. And then the same, we wouldn't want to keep you on a stomach and bowel 4 if you're starting to move your bowels every so often, okay? So that's the really beautiful thing about the herbs that I work with. They're extremely potent, and they're actually the most potent commercially available herbs that are out there. 4-to-1 ratio is incredible. So herbs are going to be a big part of detoxification. And then of course you have colonics, you have clays, you have enemas. But I like to speak one-on-one with my clients about those 3 practices as well, because there's a lot of guidance that's needed. There's just too much information out there. That particular protocol needs to be customized based on the full detox experience of a client. So, while you can really take charge and go at this on your own, I always recommend that you speak with a certified detoxification specialist to help guide you through, because you're going to hit the healing crisis at some point as well, and you're going to need guidance through that. The healing crisis is an indicator that you are in full detox mode, okay? But it can be very uncomfortable. It can be mild to severe. And I'm going to go into that later, probably next week, so everybody has a clear idea of what to expect when detoxing, so you don't quit too early.